Okay, do you remember your older jumpers?
Okay, my name is Janice Harrington. I teach physical education at Forbes School in Torrington, Connecticut. I'm the head coach of the Forbes Flyers jump rope team. And I've been the head coach for 15 years now. Just had my anniversary is 15 years being in Torrington. I went to a physical education workshop when I taught in Virginia. I taught in Virginia for almost 21 years. And the workshop was being conducted by a jump rope team in Virginia, White Oaks jump rope team. And it was my first experience with a team at that level. When I say at that level, my perspective at that time was just recess jump rope, just rhymes and just basic jumping in and getting out. And they were already at the level where they were doing things I had never seen before. So it was run by a physical education teacher, and as soon as I saw the workshop, I went back to my school and I asked my principal if I could start a jump rope team.
Well, in third grade, I saw the Forbes Flyers jumping at our school, and I wanted to join the team after I saw their show. Well, it wasn't like any other sport. Like, I could have done basketball or soccer, but like not a lot of kids do jump rope, so that was something that I liked about it.
When I was in elementary school, my neighbor was on the jump rope team, and so he would always practice out in his backyard and stuff, so I wanted to be like him, I guess.
When I was in like first and second grade, I would see the shows, and it was always fascinating to me, and I wanted to be part of it. So we practiced at recess and then tryouts.
We do ridiculous drills with speed, which I absolutely despise, but I do the drills anyways because I know that they'll make me better. And we incorporate drills like swimming drills that we did today that weren't fun. And I guess we just learn from other teams and do different speed drills and freestyle drills to try and make our events better.
You have to practice a lot because it's a lot of muscle memory, and if you skip a practice, then you go back into it, and it's a lot harder to do what you want to do.
On Monday, we have double dutch day, so we do double dutch drills, and the rest of the day we do single rope drills. And then we work with the younger jumpers to teach them new skills.
The mentoring that goes on, the older teaching the younger, the leadership building that it provides is way above a lot of things that are out there. And this is what you want. This is what you want your young people to experience.
When I first started teaching, I hated teaching the younger kids. But as I got into it, I learned that you really get a lot out of it to see that you're making the sport grow and that you're teaching these little kids something that they'll take away from the day.
Some of the younger kids get the tricks quicker, like some of the easier tricks quicker, because the older kids like spend time and work with them every day to get these tricks. And then some of the harder tricks, varsity practices, it usually takes a little bit longer just because they're harder, but if you really want to get it and you work on it every single day, it's normally just, sometimes it could take like a couple practices, or sometimes it could take like months to get it.
I personally like to learn from watching. So if somebody does a trick and I kind of don't really know what it looks like and it kind of looks a bit confusing, then I'll go up and ask the person who did it to show me it again and show me like the arm motions and the leg motions and stuff. And then I'll just go and I'll try it, and you basically just need to keep trying it and trying it until you can at least get it close so that you can keep doing it. And the more you do it, that's because, I mean, practice makes perfect, so the more you do it, the more chance you'll have of getting it.
Well, I can tell you as a parent of a boy that this sport is very different than the other sports he has been in. He has been in football. He has also been in baseball all the way up into his teen years. Jump rope to me is 24/7. He comes after school Monday through Fridays. He also, with his double dutch team or his partners, they also go to the YMCA on the weekends.
Over the years, I've seen that if they need to have total dedication in order to go places and to do well in all their competitions. They definitely need to learn how to work with one another, because teamwork is a big part, especially when you work with double dutch. You need to get along with your teammates and be able to communicate with them. Otherwise, it doesn't work out too well. And so you need a lot of communication and a lot of dedication. And you learn that through the years. When they're little third graders, they don't learn it very quickly. And now that she's a senior and hopefully grown up, they learn how to get along with one another.
Freestyle is like when you have to make up a routine, either yourself or with a partner or a double dutch team, and there's different elements to the routine, like power tricks and multiples and rope manipulation and dance step. You have to have all 4 of those in your routine. And then it has to be at least a minute long, but or at least 45 seconds long, but no longer than 1:15.
Station number 1 is Leo, the Pouncing Panthers.
First you have to go to regionals, and there's a lot of different events. You can either compete in single rope or double dutch or both, and then there's a team show event. And you could either do speed or freestyle in each of those 2 events. And after regionals, you have to qualify to go to nationals, and the top 4 in each event go to nationals. And then we all compete at nationals, like everyone from the whole country.
It's very physical, and it requires a lot of upper body strength and a lot of, you have to be very athletic in order to do well in jump rope. the physical aspect of it, it's you're not just one thing. It's not just jumping. It's a lot of tricks you have to learn how to do. You can compete in speed. You can compete in freestyle. There's lots of different aspects to it.
The last competition, we had over 900 competitors. I mean, we have jumpers in every region. There's 13 regions. And I think when I started, there might have been 8 regions. So the sport has grown, the membership has grown. The skill level of the jumpers has reached the roof. I keep thinking they can't think of anything new, and they do.
Well, that was the big question when we were younger, like who even made up these tricks to begin with. But as we get older, it's kind of funny because you actually meet the people who make up all these tricks at nationals and stuff, and you find yourself making up tricks that other people want to learn. So it's jumpers like us that make up the tricks, and eventually, as the years go on, those are pretty much the only tricks you see. You don't see any basic tricks anymore. It's all the tricks that us jumpers have made up.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be sitting in class and I'll be thinking about a new trick that I want to put into my freestyle, because I know that I have to have that one up to the other person that I'm competing against, because every year it's such a new sport that it's growing so fast, and you have to have the new tricks to make the judges go, wow, did she really just do that?
Jump rope is definitely way more challenging and way harder to learn, way harder to do than any other sport. I mean, you should definitely give credit to the people that are doing it, because it's definitely, it requires a lot of athleticism and a lot of concentration and focus. It's kind of a combination between gymnastics and a track and field kind of sort, because you need endurance and speed as in the track and field, but you also need the gymnastics and the flipping and the tumbling that's involved there, and the concentration. So it's kind of a combination of the two.
When we went to the Worlds, which was in South Africa in July, it was very different because this time we had to use music. Any of the competitions that we have been in before, we have never had to use music. That takes it to a whole nother level.
It's a lot harder than people think it is. When you say, oh, I jump rope, they think of little girls out on the playground singing songs and jumping over a rope, but a lot more goes into it than just that. So I think if a lot of people knew how much actually went into it, then they'd be surprised.
When you say jump rope today, people still see it as a recess sport. They don't even see it as a sport. They just see it as an activity. They don't recognize its value until they see it. Once they see it, then, it's a wow. It's an eye-catching. They didn't think that jump rope could be at the level that they see it when they go to halftime games. People stop and talk to us. When they see it on TV, usually people will call the national office and want to be a part of it because they're so impressed by it.
When I saw the seniors and the juniors and the kids in high school and what they've learned and all the tricks that they could do, I was totally amazed I used to jump rope as a kid, never did anything like that. So it was amazing to see. And then when my daughter was old enough to compete and started competing, I was amazed at all the tricks that they could do with the ropes and in all the competitions that we were in. And I realized it was a true sport and true competition.
The turners really have to communicate with the jumpers, because if they don't, then the jumpers don't know what they're doing wrong, or the turners don't know what they're doing wrong. And you have to make sure that you know everything that's going on with the ropes at all times, otherwise you'll make a mistake, which takes off a lot of jumps, and every jump counts. So when you do miss, you have to get in as fast as you can, and you have to make sure that you talk to your jumpers then too, or make eye contact to make sure that you're getting in the right time, the right way. And if the jumper wants to go faster, they have to communicate that, otherwise turners will never know. And the same thing, if the turners can't turn as fast as the jumper's jumping, then there's no way that it's going to work out.
Well, we travel all over the place for workshops, and we teach younger jumpers and older jumpers and just any jumper that feels like learning. And we do shows everywhere. Shows are fun. I mean, we like performing for people, and we do things for the community. So it's definitely a diverse sport, and we definitely get it out there.
I think when you go out and play football, when you go out and play soccer, you're not going to stand in front of your crowd and answer questions and talk about the sport. You're just going to be playing. When you go to a basketball game, they're not going to spend 10 minutes saying, these are our basic skills. We are now about to do our demonstration, blah, blah, blah. Now we're going to give you some time to come up and work with us, and then be able to take a skill and break it down so that whoever they're working with, whether it's an adult teacher or whether it's a young jumper, so that they find success and want to take it back and use it with their own group or with their own team. It's huge.
Jump rope, looking at all the different kinds of sports that my son has done, to me, jump rope, the jump rope world is very fascinating because kids share what they learn. They're very enthusiastic about sharing and about teaching.
Well, one thing that makes jump rope unique is that when you go to a competition, it's not like, oh, that's my competition, let me make a mean face at them, like, let me scare them and make them feel intimidated. It's, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long, how are you? And it's like you share tricks, you teach each other at the competition. It's totally different than any other sport. And you have friends, you make lifelong friends.
I really like the way that they cheer each other on and that they really are sincere about being happy for them when they win, and I really enjoy that part of it.
I actually planned the colleges that I applied to off of jump rope teams that were around the colleges. So, I mean, you could definitely tell it's influenced my future. I probably would have never even looked at these colleges had it not been for jump rope. So, I'm going to try my best to do it, depending on how much time I'll have, but I'm sure I'll find time to do it because I love it. So.
The connections that we make, they've been lifelong for me, and that's huge for me. Just to go to somebody's wedding and for them to ask me if I had a pair of double dutch ropes in the car, and for them to pull the ropes out and jump in their wedding dress, it tells me how much this sport meant, that it didn't leave them, that it'll carry it with them, and maybe they'll pass it on to someone else. So to me, that's huge, because they started something in elementary school, and it has made such an impact on their life that it's still a part of them.